All right, welcome everybody to She Builds, Owns, Invests. She is me, she is you, she's all of us. Welcome to another webinar. We are super excited today because we are celebrating our second anniversary. Oh my gosh, how that happened?
No idea.
Time flies. So yeah, we have an amazing night. Be sure to stay until the end because we're gonna do a giveaway for all the people who stay. We have some gifts for you, so stay. And of course, turn on your cameras. Today is more like a open floor for everybody. So welcome
We're gonna
everybody.
party.
Yeah, today is a party. So I mean, of course, I want to hear from Maria and Candice. Tell us a little bit about how these last 2 years have been for you, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything.
Well, I can go first, Maria. I have just been such at awe with what we've been able to accomplish with the community. We started with a big, audacious goal of helping 1 million women grow personally, professionally, and spiritually. And our whole vision was to empower women, whether it was a solo entrepreneurial situation and you were trying to grow your business, you were a C-suite manager trying to juggle, work and family life and building a side hustle. Our goal was really to help give back to the community and help lift up women and empower women. I've been in business for almost 30 years. I don't want to age myself, but when I first started my own business when I was 28, there were many, many men who were, ahead of me or had their own business, but I didn't have any women in the entrepreneurial space that was willing to put their hand out and help guide me as I started my own business. So I've been blessed to be part of this community, Jazz. And if it wasn't for you, I would not be a part of this. And it's just been a huge space for me to be able to give back to other women and help them in situations that I didn't have a woman around to help me. So thank you so much, Jazz.
Oh, thank you so much, Candice. Maria.
Well, this kind of happened kind of by accident for me because when I first got into this, I leaned on a lot of men tell me what to do in this field. And I tried to get all of my friends involved. And I remember sitting at a table with my closest girlfriends and I asked them, like, you guys come and join me. Like, this is such a great opportunity. And they looked at me and they said, well, we need to ask our husbands. And I was like, no, you don't. You don't need to do anything like that. You can do anything if you want to do it. It's your money too. And I just realized this is not the community for me. And when Jazz came to me and was like, let's do this new group, I was like, thank you. I've needed this community because clearly mine was not where I needed to be. And just helping women become more empowered with their financial freedom has been huge for me. And just this whole community has been so enlightening. And whenever we get together, it's just so amazing. And to see some women even come up to us and say, hey, like, I actually started investing because of this group. It just touches my heart. And I know that we're doing this for a greater good. So being able to help more women get involved is so amazing. And I love it. So it's been amazing being part of it.
It's so fulfilling. Of course, guys, we have ups and downs, and there are some days I was reflecting. We have some days that we have pretty much a lot going on, or a lot of our personal lives, our professional lives. We're trying to make a business, and sometimes we are like, oh, I don't want to show away. Like I'm not together. Like I can't emotionally or whatever. Like we're going through a lot of stress, and at the end of the day, we have been showing up up regardless of how we feel, what we have on our plates. We have been showing up for the last 2 years, and it's just so, like, we are here. Sometimes we think like we are here to share with you, to give you, to share our knowledge, but the reality is that you are giving us so much. All the everybody supporting us, everybody attending, or just like Maria said, when we meet people in person and they say thank you so much for she and I attend the calls and this speaker that you had, that's what I needed to hear. Or, different comments that we receive, that we realize like we are making a difference, even if it's one person. Just like Candace said, yeah, of course our goal is to empower 1 million women, but just by one at a day, and the fact that we can help you be a better person, and you can help your husband, you can help your kids, you can help everybody around you, your communities, your church, everybody. Like, we all come together and make a better world. So that's all about she. I'm super grateful, of course, for Maria and Candace, because they said yes, but also, guys, for everybody who joins and support. Like, because Candace and Maria and I, we can be here and we can talk, and we are on meetings every day. We have a lot of assets together that keep us together for and will keep us together for many years. But just sharing with you the fact that you come and join or watch the recordings. We have a lot of people watching the recordings as well. So thank you so much, because she is not only me, it's not only Maria, it's not only Candace, it's all of us, it's your daughters, it's your wives, it's your sisters, everybody. And of course, this group is not just, we hate men and the feminist group. Like, we are just trying to, just like Maria said, teaching them about investing. A lot of our partners, our dads, our boyfriends, husbands, they work so hard for their money, and at the end they pass on all that money to the other generations. Sharon and we will go over to some speakers, but women die alone. That means, like, we have to make financial decisions after a divorce, after husbands pass away, after so many things that happen in life, and we just need to be prepared. And we don't want all the hard work of all the men around us just go to waste because we made one bad investment. So that's the only thing: becoming the best version of ourselves on every single aspect, so we can empower everybody around us, we can impact everybody around.
That's
All
well
right.
said. Well said, Jazz.
Thank you. Well, we're gonna do a quick recap of all the things, all the speakers that we have had. I'm gonna pass it on to Maria, and then we will continue with that.
Okay, this was really fun for me because I got to see not only kind of a walk down memory lane here, but I got to see all of our amazing speakers again for like the second time. And it was really exciting for me. So on our anniversary special, this is, she is me, she is you, the 2 years of our growth, purpose, and power. We're starting from the beginning. So our most recent one was Valentina, and she talked about the connect, invest, and power. And then we go backwards even further with Angela, and she talked about, going from homeless to financial freedom. And then we had the powerful Amy, and I mean, she was amazing and talking about purposeful networking. And then we had the strongest woman I think I was ever scared to have to talk to. She is amazing, Natalia. And then we had leadership gaps with Annie Yacht. And talking to her was just so empowering by hearing about imposter syndrome and just the gaps that are just really out there for us. And then we had our own Miss Candice Stearns, and she talked about building $1 million real estate portfolio. And it was so cool to be able to showcase one of our own. And then we had Shanoa, and I had to throw in a picture of us eating cupcakes because she's so tiny that I don't even think she ever eats cupcakes, but I had to throw it in. And it was nice to kind of see her speak on our amazing She stage. We had Manaya, and I cannot say her last name, but she talked about taxes and how you have to really like hold on to what you have earned. And it's amazing how much we love to talk about tax savings, but we never really talk about how much we're actually saving. And it's cool to hear her talk about that. We had Hala talking about mastering LinkedIn with your brand and how important your brand is to you. We went to Heather and she talked about, her book, and she is the queen of wraps, which are like wrapping on cars, on anything that you can think of a wrap could be on. She does it. So she had some great inspiration for us. We went to Hannah, who has spoke in person at some of our personal meetups, but also was on our stage. Then we had the powerful Vita Jetty. And this talk, oh my goodness, if you didn't learn something from this one, you had to go listen to the recording, because she just dropped nugget after nugget on this call about really talking about what it meant to her investors and how important it was for her family to grow this on her own. And then, this was a big day when we had Elena Cardone. I think I cried only like 7 times when we had Elena Cardone on. It was amazing. That was a great day for us. We changed the time for her. We did a lot for Elena, but it was Elena, we love her. But before that, we had Lindsay. She's from Directed IRA, and she talked about your assets again and really protecting what you have in your self-directed funds and how you can invest and putting things together for your kids. It's amazing to learn from her. And then Kaylee, oh my gosh, her processes about asset management and how organized she is. She kind of scares me with how organized she is. I thought I was a type A person, and she is the queen of apartments. She even coined herself the apartment queen on purpose. I would not argue that. She's amazing. And that talk, I went and really had to go through her stuff because she just had so much information. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but I learned more on that one than I think I did on any others. But then we had Jordan Nutter, who I had to put her TikTok on here because she only has 286,000 followers on TikTok, where she talks about, she does some stories and some skits with her loan officers, helping other people get loans on their single family homes. She's getting into commercial real estate a little bit, but just funny dealing with people at a different side of it and how she has grown her business in single family. So it's cool to listen to an influencer and how she built her time online. And then we had Sharon Lechter. That was an amazing talk. We even had 100 people online for that call. Sharon spoke amazing words of wisdom to all of us. I just remember that call as well. And it was back in April, but it was amazing to hear her talk about everything that she's done and all of the books she's written and everything that she's accomplished. She has done so much, and it's just an honor to be able to share a Zoom stage with her. We got to learn about empowering your self-trust with Anna. She did an in-person event with us as well, and Austin. So if you're on that call, if you're in person, like put something in the chat, because I remember that one. It was very exciting to learn from her in person, but she's just such a great coach on confidence. And it's something that I know we're all trying to get more of. So that was an amazing talk. Then Carissa Quaid was talking about biblical wisdom for financial success. It's something we don't talk about a lot, is that biblical side. Whether you are spiritual or not, it's something that is important to discuss. So it's cool to hear that side of it. I mean, we're all well-rounded women, and not that we have to be spiritual, but it is an aspect that we want to grow in. It's nice to hear her take on it. And we had a 3-part series on cover your assets. Victoria Woods was our final one in this series, and hers was it's all about the money, honey. I loved her take on it and how amazing she really was about financial services and how she got into it. And she really kills it with her assets and how she talks about covering your assets. Then we had Arati, and she spoke in Texas at one of our meetups in Houston. And she talked about how there's so many ways that you can protect your family that no one ever talks about. She loves working with women. She loves how women get involved and can really help her families and their families. It's really cool to hear her speak about that. And Lauren and Lorianne, they were the first of our Cover Your Assets series, and they really talked about questions that you can ask and taking control of your legacy. It's cool to just remember that side of it. Now I know this is all about she. I know what you guys are thinking. We did have a guy speak. I know. But sometimes if you cover up the S in she, it also says he. I know. I'm sorry, guys. But we did have Vincent. He talked on next leveling yourself, and he is a national trainer at Tony Robbins. And so he's talked about how working with Tony Robbins has really impacted his life and how it helped him get to the next level. So it was a one-time thing, but can't say we never had one. So we did have a guy on our stage. It was very exciting. We had Dr. Fadwa come and talk to us about the health is the real wealth, and talking about small things that you can change and kind of taking little steps on it, on your own control of something that you can go do and impact your own life and really keep your health in check. It was really cool to hear her side of that. We had my friend Bridget Heller talk about motivation and what is fueling you to talk. She has the most energy I have ever seen, and it was cool to see her talk on stage. Then we had Julia Barraro, and she is the wife of Jake and Gino. If you've ever been to one of their conferences, she is Gino's wife, and she's a author of children's books. She has 6 children. So how she manages her whole household of 6 children and her husband's portfolio, I mean, she does it all, and she does it with a smile on her face. So it was cool to hear how she can really keep her identity, keep her brand by also running the family. That was an amazing talk from her. Then we had Ever Matson. I mean, if you really ever want to know that you haven't accomplished anything until I think she was 12 when we talked to her, maybe 13. But she has raised so much money for hunger, and she's partnered with Tony Robbins as well. So she is amazing. She is the founder of the $7 Challenge and a kid entrepreneur, and she had to ask her mom if she could talk on our stage. I mean, how cool was that? That was really cool. It also made me think that I hadn't done enough in my life. So that was a little hard to see too. It was cool. Then we had Karishma. She talked about really your path to success in a mindset, and really how you can focus on yourself, but also how that impacts others once you're really focusing on your own journey. So Karishma talked about her journey, and it was neat to hear that side of it. Karishma was an amazing speaker. We had Arlene Garza, who is the principal and co-founder of Reap Equity. I'm in one of her deals, so it was nice to hear her side of it as a general partner in real estate, but also how she's run her company, how she manages her assets. It was neat to see that and how she got started in multifamily real estate. Then we had Julie Holly, and she spoke mostly about her side of raising capital and how she's done that spiritually. We had back-to-back Julies with Julie Roy, and she talked about real estate, raising money, and what she's been able to really contribute to her own community. We had Lisa, who was part of Powerful Female Immigrants. So she talked about her story and immigrating over to America and what that has done for her. We even go back to Elsa, and she talked about coaching. We had Stephanie, who talked about building your brand. We did Melissa, who talked about finding your niche and what type of real estate you'd want to be in. And sometimes it changes, and how to move with that. So Melissa had some great nuggets of insight. Mara, who talked about how she wrote a book, and it was all about her book on finding the red flags and the green flags in relationships. We talked with Tammy about marketing, and then Laura was our very first speaker. And she talked about financial specialists and business strategies. And she was, like I said, our first one. And that was the day that I was like, is this going to be a thing? Is this not going to be a thing? But she was number one. So I don't know if you've been here since the beginning, but she has grown a lot in the last 2 years. We've had so many speakers, so many amazing, amazing people on our stage that I hope you guys have taken some nuggets back with you that have helped in your business or have grown with you in some way. Now, our brand, she builds, owns, invests. She is me. She is you. I love it. Jazmin, you want to talk a little bit more about why we use she and what she means a little bit more?
Of course, the mission, I mean, we'll go a little bit on the branding next, but the mission is to, we hardly believe that it's important for women to grow on every single aspect. And we just wanted to build a community where we help, support, inspire each other. Of course, you guys know we're highly invested in real estate, and transition into the transaction into this level, sometimes it's scary, or so most of the time we have other people who are doing way more than us, and there's some other people who are barely starting and they don't know where to start. So we just wanted to build a community where we have that space to help, but also support, inspire each other, and at the same time grow on every single aspect. We hardly believe that in order to achieve higher levels of success, we need to be aligned on every single aspect, personally, professionally, and spiritually. So that's, I started talking about one thing, what I believe, and share the vision with these amazing ladies, and some others that life took them in different direction, and that's totally okay. They are focused on other things, but I just share what it was important for me, what I wanted to do, and that's why everybody's here, right? Like, that's what Maria does. They said yes because they believe that. But just sharing your values, just staying true to yourself, to what you want, and just see who's on board with that. You will be surprised, and of course there will be other people who'll be like, no, I that's not what I stand for. That's totally okay. But at least you surround yourself with people who gets what you're doing, why are you doing all these crazy things. So that's we are, all of us, we are building, we own, and we invest. And sometimes in business, we're building families, we are owning assets, we're investing, sometimes in real estate, other things, we're just investing in ourselves, just like joining here, joining our our instant events. Like, we invest in ourselves, like we want to better ourselves. So guys, Maria, Candice, what do you want to share anything?
No,
I
I think you got it.
I do too. That was really what it's all about. And we just tonight really wanted to share and celebrate our past. We have big ideas and some big events that are going to be coming up this year. We're going to do an in-person event in the fall, and we just wanted to take a step back and just really look at where we've been, but know that we have a lot of ideas on where we want to go. And that's, I think, why we're celebrating tonight. So
it's also so important to take a moment, just like you said, Candice, and celebrate. Like, of course, for she, this is it, but also try to take that moment personally and see how far you have. Like, sometimes it's so easy to get so caught up on the big project. For she, the next big event, the next big speaker, what are we doing, how do we grow the community, how we do all these things. And just like right now, reflecting on everything that we have done, how we have positioned the brand, how much we have impacted you guys in different ways. It's just so all regarding. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that, Candace. And of course, invite everybody to do the same exercise.
Yeah, and definitely, because with this growing personally, professionally, and spiritually, I mean, even if this is your first call or if this is your 100th call with us, I think we've had 100, if not, so sorry. Then you know that you've learned something on some of these webinars, and that's what it was so cool to go back and see all of the speakers we've had, because it reminded me of things I had learned and things that I had taken from those amazing speakers. And I know that personally we can grow so much. We do have 2 videos from Elena. So I think
we work really well because he can give me his ideas or his thoughts or his input privately, not in front of the kids. And I can either choose to abide by it or not abide by it. And at the end of the day, he's going to allow me to make the mistakes or self course correct or whatever. But at the end of the day, he has to let me make the executive decisions with the family. And so it helps us in our role because it's helped us be an incredible family, because I'm working really hard to be really excellent in that role as a mother and as the matriarch of the family. And he's working really hard in the business and he's doing a phenomenal job. And together, us as a unit makes us so unique and so different from, I don't know if you want to call it competition. So, we work really well.
that was the first one, and then there's one more. There we go.
I love that you're bringing these up, Maria.
Oh no, there's no sound. Oh, it's right.
Family, there's integrity, there's
And I refreshed. Let's try again. There we go.
Raising 2 amazing daughters.
the core values that we have in our family. There's integrity, there's authenticity, transparency, loyalty, kindness, love, forgiveness. I tell them, if anything, if you come to me where you've done something that you don't feel right about, and I've never told you another way, you're not going to get punished, or I don't believe in that. So the kids have really had a lot of integrity and self-respect, and they've been allowed to make their decisions. I do tell them they have to earn adult rights, and you just have to respect me until you earn adult rights. I'm learning, so you caught me at a really good moment.
And
So, Candace, we can kind of come back out of this if you want.
Yeah, I just wanted to
I'd love to hear. Yeah.
I just wanted to mention specifically about Elena. She and I have built a relationship over the last probably 18 months. She's one of my mentors and coaches, and that's how we were able to be blessed to bring her on the stage, because she did me a favor, and that's kind of why we judged the timing and that kind of thing for her, because she's very adamant about keeping boundaries about her personal life. And that's what she's given me. And I wanted her to share some of the tips and hacks and things that she does, that she's taught me in the coaching that I'm in with her and about 50 other ladies that are coached by her personally. And it was awesome having her on that afternoon, just to be real and talk about her relationship with Grant, because I'm a married businesswoman and my husband's the W-2. So in some aspects, I kind of sympathize more with Grant's positions on some of the dynamics in their relationship. And what Elena brought to me and has been bringing to me in my coaching program is just how to balance a family and be the right glue to kind of keep it all together, right? To be the neck that moves the head. And how do you, quote unquote, do it all? Because you can't do it all. And she says that, you're going to make mistakes, but just keeping your focus on the right things and working with your partner as a teammate, not an adversary. When she talked about that, I think that was so awesome when she was talking about how, she and Grant always take a step back. And even though some things can sometimes get heated in a relationship, you have to constantly work at reminding yourself that you're both on the same team, right? You're not competitors and you're not competing against each other. You're complementing each other. And that's how she's raising her daughters. And what's unique about her situation is I have 2 children as well. I have boys, she has girls, so there's a whole different dynamic there. But she was such a great help for me and continues to be. And I just was glad that she could share that with the community, because I know there's a lot of women on these calls or watch these calls, and they sometimes feel like they're alone in the wilderness trying to figure out what to do next when it comes to the home life and how to balance it with work and business and everything else. So it was awesome.
You nailed it on the head, like nailed the, well, I don't know what it is, but you did that. when you said that you don't have to have it all. You just, because you're going to mess up. And when you look at Elena on Instagram or on stage and she has everything put together, and then to have her say that you don't have to have it all put together is so humbling to hear that from her. And just to hear that, someone you look up to that's a mentor, that is, you're going to make mistakes. It was cool to hear that.
Yeah, it was great.
So our next one, so we've grown personally, talked about that one. And then we were talking about professionally. So we have some great videos. I mean, we could pull a lot of them, guys. I really picked, honestly, just some easy ones.
In this business, there are going to be setbacks and comebacks. It's crazy now thinking that my biggest defeat has become my greatest lesson learned. So how do you guys want to be remembered? As the person that said no thanks, I'll figure it out later? Or as the person who pressed forward and gave it a shot and told yourself this life has so much more?
She's so good.
And I think we're in a moment of reckoning where women are really understanding and grabbing and taking control of their future, their destiny, and stepping into the roles that they were meant to fulfill. We see trends of less and less women interested in getting married or having children, or delaying both of these things until their careers are more solidified, or saying like, hey, I have a different dream. And I love that. And I think as women, we have to remember to be collaborative with each other and not competitive. That's bullshit. And we need to help each other, because this is how men have climbed to the top for many, many, many generations. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be doing the same. This is awesome.
I love when she says that. So Jazmin, I wanted to know about professionally, kind of your take on that. I know you had some more points from Sharon and what it meant about really professional growth, because we do hear about that a lot on our past calls.
Yeah, I mean, Amy said it. Sharon's, of course, everybody has said it in different ways. We said it in different ways. Sharon said, from mess to message to mission to miracle. Let me say it one more time. From mess to message to mission to miracle. Because we all have these messy lives or messy situations when we don't know what, professionally, like, I don't know how I'm gonna figure this business. I don't know if I'm gonna file bankruptcy, or we go through all these situations that in the moment they are so dark, we don't understand what's next, and that becomes our message when we come out. At what point we come out, and that actually becomes our mission. Like, that empowers us to, we make that our mission, and that's actually how she started, right? My mess was coming here, started from scratch, grading here, and pretty like starting from scratch, right? So that it was messy, it was so uncertain, and that became my message, like turning a hardship into an opportunity, like how, like making the decision of, let me start with what I have, and one step at a time. So that became my message, and then later my mission with she and sharing with everybody, because my challenge was to be an immigrant and start from scratch. But the reality is that nobody has it together. We all have hardships and we all have our mess, and turning that around, sharing with everybody, sharing in this community, And so many women, that's how we are building the community, because we feel like somebody has been in our shoes and they came out of that. There is light. So of course it comes up a miracle, because when you share, you never know how important it is for the other person here. It heals, or it gives you the strength to continue. So just it becomes a miracle, right? Like you never the problem of today becomes the testimony of tomorrow. So everything is aligned in the same. And that's why I am so bullish about personally, professionally, and spiritually, because all these principles apply on every single aspect. But yeah, that's my biggest takeaway professionally.
And professionally, there was a part from Hala that brand is so important. And I want to showcase that this first picture over here, this blue one, this was our very first Instagram post, our very first one. And I wanted you to talk about how important branding is for us.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, with Massive Capital, you guys seen how branding is, what marketing it is for us. And before that, I wasn't really putting a lot of effort on my personal brand or just marketing overall. When we created, of course, we're the women of Massive Capital, and we just wanted to create the community. And that was our first name, right? Massive Capital Girls Society. And then the slogan was "Girls just want to have AUM, assets under management." So, it was really cool. We loved it, and we say, "Let's roll." Kudos to us, because we started. We say, "Let's roll," and we put something together. And see on the left, that's our logo. We loved it, and then I was like, you know what? I don't, just hearing all these speakers, hearing all of you guys, connecting with all of you, and I'm like, I don't think we're girls. Like, we are making bold moves. Like, we are doing amazing things. I don't know if, I mean, I don't know if we're girls. So that's the start, like, just. I was like, I don't know about the name. And by now, like, we had, like, probably, I don't know, like, you guys saw the ads, probably, like, speakers already. We have the webpage. We have a lot. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure about the name. And they are like, I told them, I said, no, let's just continue with that. Like, we already started doing a lot of marketing. People know us as Massive Capital Girls Society. I don't know. You just roll with it. But something inside of me, I'm like, I don't know. It's just like the girls. I don't know. So that's how we started brainstorming and coming, who we are, what we do, and just mainly the second name, She Builds on Invest, was inspiration from hearing all of you, what you guys started doing, and all the speakers, everybody in the community. Like, we all are doing amazing things. The other thing that came to my mind is, like, I want a brand that everybody can own. Massive Capital Society, of course, we have a lot of other women in the industry who have no deals with Massive Capital and probably will never have, or they are just doing other kind of investments, other kind of business. So they don't really feel like Massive Capital. So when we changed to She Builds, Owns, Invest, of course, she is me, and the whole new branding, they came to us on events. I remember I went to one of the Elena Cardone events, and so many people came to us and said, thank you so much for changing the name. Like, thank you so much for including us. Like, and I'm like, wow. So people feel like, yeah, she is me. Like, yes, in fact, that's me. And before it was Massive Capital Ladies. So just pretty much, I feel like we just opened the doors for everybody, all the ladies who are doing amazing
Yeah,
things
it was
in this world.
definitely more on target for our mission. So it was such a gift that, you really felt led to do that. And it was the right thing for us, and it was the right thing for us to be able to be more inclusive, right? And I know it's she, but we always say we have the he's of she, right?
You can get rid of the S if you
You
want.
take the S away, and we're not feminist anti-men, right?
Right.
We're just about helping empower the ladies who sometimes need a little encouraging, right? So
And speaking about that, our last point is spirituality. And I'll only play one of these because I don't want to take up all of our time.
You speak about how to make 3% money mindset. Can you elaborate on that? And what does that mean to make a 3% money mindset? And why is that important?
3% money mindset shifts is something that I started when I started applying scripture to my own beliefs around money, because I also thought like money was evil. And so I really wrestled with that myself. And what I realized is that every single time I understood the context of one money verse, one of those 2000 money verse, then my mindset shifted just a little bit, because it really just shows how doable it is. We don't have to overhaul our whole money mindset. It's like I'm here in Arizona, and if I were to get on a plane and go to Chicago, but the pilot makes a 3% shift, I might end up in Atlanta. I'm not going to end up in the same place. So it's something to show that it is small, it is doable, but the results are going to be huge. So I use the 3% money mindset shift all the time. And really, it only takes a couple verses and understanding the context to really be able to shift your mindset in a way that lasts going forward.
So spirituality has been a hard one for us, just to talk about. We don't want to ever really go with one faith or talk about one branch of church. We never want to align ourselves because there's so many different options, and we've heard from so many different walks of life. We've heard from so many different religions, and some that are just very spiritual and just in tune with the land. I mean, we've literally heard from so many different women, and I love that about it. It's really gotten me to realize what it meant to give back, and what real estate and what this being an entrepreneur has really given me and given us the ability to do. Like, I'm going on a mission trip in a month, and like that's something I wouldn't be able to do. Like, I could give money, like that's something, but I'm giving my time, and I really don't like getting in the mud and doing all that, but like I'm doing that because I can, and giving back is huge. And we can do that because we're entrepreneurs, because we can give back. It's our wealth mission. It's a mission of where our money will be going. And yes, I get this all the time, that money is the root of all evil, but it's what we can do with that money. We can change people's lives. It's so amazing what we've been able to do and what we've seen this money work for other people. When there's a hurricane, like being able to see disaster relief and being able to write a check to go help people. Like, that's amazing that we can do that, but we can't do that unless we're all helping each other get there.
And I just have to correct one thing, Maria, because you know I'm a Christian.
I know
That
you are.
quote is specifically 1 Timothy
Thank you.
6:10.
I knew
And
you were gonna
the
fix it.
quote is, "For the love of money is the
Thank
root
you.
of all evil." So we want to make sure you put the emphasis on the correct word in the phrase. The word love of money is the evil part, not the money itself. And so this is a 3% money mindset shift. Ladies, if you ever think that, or that comes to you in a record plays in the back of your head, remember the word love of money, not the word money itself. Okay. So that's, I think that's a huge mindset.
Huge. That's it right there. And that's why we're a community, because we can help each other in even a sentence that we're saying. So it's just cool to be able to grow together and to learn everyone's spirituality and how they're growing personally, professionally, and spiritually. And maybe all of our speakers don't touch on every single one of those areas, but most of them do. And it's been cool to be able to look back and see that. Guys, we've been doing this for over 2 years. It's huge.
Oh,
Amazing.
amazing.
And I hope you guys will continue with us, because we're not stopping. We're not slowing down. And I've seen who's coming up, and and it's huge.
And I know, Jazz, you were putting in the chat, I think there was a survey, right? That you'd love
Yes.
any of the ladies to make sure they go on. And if you're watching this on a replay, we'll make sure that we put the survey in the replay notes or however our ladies do that. We have some awesome ladies behind the scenes. Can I just give like a huge shout out to
course.
Kate and Joanne and all these other lovely ladies? And yes, there's ladies behind the ladies who afterwards send these recordings out, post everything all over the place, provide the links and all the give back stuff. Cause I don't know that we've ever like publicly come out and thanked them, but I just want to make sure we do that tonight too.
Absolutely, they are amazing. They are amazing, and that they are keeping all the pieces together. Absolutely, thank you so. All right, we have a few minutes left. Of course, we have the giveaway. Before we do that, please take the moment to take the survey, and if you want to share anything, any comments about things that you would like to see, speakers that you would like to see, please let us know. Comment or unmute yourself. Let us know. Also, want to talk a little bit about our in-person events. Some of you guys have been attending our events in Houston, Austin, Detroit. We're gonna start having events in Boston. We have had some in Tampa. So just continuing with those events. Let us know on the survey how we can provide more value in the person events. And this, like, what are you, this is for you, what we mentioned at the beginning, this is for you. Candice, Maria, and I can talk on the phone every day, and that's okay, but this is for you guys. How can we add more value to you? Please let us know.
Yes, we're doing one in Indy.
Yeah, and
John's wife's gonna show up.
well, yeah, I'm gonna bring my wife and I'm gonna bring
There
my
you go.
daughter. And,
There
yeah,
you go.
exactly. So, and just if I can for 2 seconds,
Of course.
I have to thank you guys, like specifically you, Jasmine, because I wouldn't be here in the commercial real estate world if it wasn't for you, and you as well, Maria. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, John. I met John in not Total Wealth, GrowthCon a few years ago, and just, that's, we never know who we're meeting, and just talking to him, and I'm like, you're amazing. We started connecting, and now he's a part of our massive masters doing deals with us. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much for all the support, John. Thank you for supporting and your shoes, right? Your wife, your daughter. So that's what the beauty about this brand and this community. Thank you, John.
But I'm excited to see where this goes, and I can't wait to see what you guys fill those surveys out with, because it's all about you guys. It's amazing to see where we've been and what we can achieve and what we will continue to learn and bring to all of you. I'm excited.
Oh, and yeah, the giveaway. We have some, almost forgot. We have 1 minute. We try to stay on time because your time is very valuable, but we have some gifts. Candace, tell us who are the winners today.
Well, we actually have a bunch of people. We have 6 prizes, prizes that we're going to give away. And so we've got Natasha, Kira, John, Audrey, and Candice from Dayton, Ohio. So
yay, guys. Congrats.
Yay. Okay, so how do we take their information, or
if you guys are still on the call, please reach out to us. If you're watching it on the replay, please reach out to us because we don't have any other way besides that.
Okay, send an email to she@massive.capital. There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
repeat the names again, please. And they just put their email, the mail address. Where do you want this? And your phone number.
Where you want where you want the, and is it a she hat? Is that what we're doing, Maria?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. Yes. So
One size fits all.
yeah, we have.
It's a really cool hat, and it's so fun because you get the weirdest looks when you wear it, and then you get to talk about it. They're like, what is she? And I'll be like, well, let me tell you.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Maria and Candice. I can thank you enough for being part of this. I definitely couldn't do it by myself. Thank you so much for all the support, for being here, just for being my friend.
This has been great. I'm looking forward to the next year and a half or 2 years. We've got a lot of stuff planned, like an in-person event in the fall where we're going to be bringing in some speakers to do actual exercises and that kind of thing for the ladies, more of a conference expo kind of thing. So look out for more details with that. We're planning around an engagement, so that's why we don't have any specific details right now, because those of you that don't know, Jazz is engaged. So that was an exciting thing that happened early this year, or I think it was earlier this year. Time's flying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so we will share that. We're gonna plan that around and share all the details, ladies, so you can come to our event. And of course, we have the in-person events this month.
Right.
We're gonna host one in Detroit, Houston, Austin, I think Boston. But just stay tuned for all the details and join us if you want to host an event. Also, let us know.
Right, please. If you're in an area and you want to do a networking event with other ladies, we have a whole process, and we'll be happy to help with that. So reach out to the she@massive.capital, and we'll be happy to help you with that.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for another night. And stay tuned for our speakers. Oh my gosh, a sneak peek. One of the speakers, Oprah, talk about her story in one of her shows. So we have amazing speakers coming up. Stay tuned, and we will see you next the third remember the webinars are the first and the third Tuesday of every month. So we will see you on the third Tuesday.
Yes, it's the 18th of March, everybody.
There you
We were
go.
getting there. We were getting there. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye bye.